2020, and I'm definitely glad it's the weekend. Slept in a little bit this morning, but you know what today is Worldwide Knit in Public Day. So I am a part of a knitting group here in the South Loop of Chicago. We call ourselves the South Loop Stitch and Bitch, and we all are going to get together for the first time in a very long time and knit. Socially distanced still. We'll have our masks and everything, but really looking forward to just getting outside and seeing some people for the first time in a really long time, other than like Zoom and other things like that. So I have my knitwear on. This is my boxy sweater that is actually a new finished object for me, and I was ready to pack it away until the fall or the winter, but Chicago has gifted us today with 60-degree weather, which under usual circumstances I'd be like, why is it so cold outside? But I'm rather glad for it because it's going to be the perfect weather to, number one, wear my sweater, and number two, get outside and do some knitting. So I'm about to head out to do that, and we'll see if I do any vlogging while I'm there. Probably not much, but I'm ready to go out and hang out with some friends. It's a little bit later in the afternoon, substantially later actually. It's after 5 now, and I'm beat. I'm really sleepy, but I had the greatest time hanging out with people for, gosh, the first time in what felt like forever. It was just really nice for my soul and my mental state to get out and spend some time in the sun. I don't think I got burned, but weirdly, I'm kind of red. I don't know if you can see that, a little bit red on my hand. Other than that, I was pretty well covered up, maybe a little bit of sun on my face as well. I tried to sit with the sun to my back, so to avoid getting too much sun. But it was just nice to sit out in the sun, but I also forgot how exhausting it can be to be in the sun because we were out there for over 4 hours. I had the greatest time though. So nice to see people. I really did not get that much knitting done. So I don't know what I have on deck for tonight. Like I said, it's after 5, but I think I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea because I honestly feel like I could go to bed right now, and I don't want to go to bed quite yet. I do want to do some stuff tonight. I want to hang out with David and maybe play a game or do some knitting or watch a movie or whatever the case might be. So I think I'm gonna make a cup of tea and sit down and relax for a little bit and enjoy the rest of my evening. So we'll see what I get up to the rest of the day. I am cat sitting for my upstairs neighbors. This is Luna. She's the sweetest. I'm so happy to be spending the weekend with her. She is such a sweet girl, aren't you? Don't show them your bum. She's a sweetheart. A little starved for attention today because this is the first time I'm getting up to see her. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time with Luna, and then I'm going to go and sit on the couch like I said. So I'm still just sitting here with Luna, hanging out a little bit. I want to pop in again though and talk a little bit more about this sweater. So I had some issues with the neckline while I was knitting it. The first time I knit the neckline, I guess I picked up too few stitches because when I finished the neck and I went to go kind of try it on and see how I liked it, it was surprisingly tight. Like it wasn't tight, but looking at pictures and knowing how it's supposed to fit, it's supposed to fit a little bit looser. It just looked too tight, and also it was puckering a little bit. Where I had picked up stitches, it was puckering as though I had picked up too few stitches. And so I ripped it out I knitted again. I really didn't pick up that many more stitches, but now I think it's too loose. Like, it's hard to situate it. But now it's almost falling off of my shoulders, and so I don't know. I don't know what to do. I think I was talking with people today. I thought it was going to be okay, but having worn it all day, now it's, as you can see, falling off of my shoulders. And so what I think I'm going to do, I was talking with some knitting friends who are the best advice givers ever when it comes to kind of tweaking and modifying finished objects, is I'm going to pick up and single crochet all the way around the neckline just to tighten it up a little bit. I think that should do it. I think that will give it a kind of enough structure to bring it in a little bit and then also help it not stretch out anymore. And if that doesn't work, I guess I'll rip it out again. I really don't want to though. It's finally done. It's finally a finished object. I really don't want to rip it out again, but we'll see what I have to do. Anyways, I'm going to finish playing with Luna, who's looking at me, wondering why I am not playing with her, and I will chat with you later. How sweet are my upstairs neighbors. I am doing them a favor, obviously, by taking care of their kitty this weekend, but the note they left me, along with my option of taking a box of Thin Mints or a box of tagalongs. The question is, which one? Good morning. It is now Sunday, the 14th. I think it's the 14th. Yes, it's the 14th. And I had a really good slow start to the morning this morning. It was funny. I woke up at 8:30 and looked at my watch and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm late to start the day. And I thought it was Monday. And so it was kind of a nice realization to remember that it's actually only Sunday. And so it'll be another day of some relaxing. I'm going to do some knitting, some reading, some tea drinking, go play with Luna, the neighbor's cat, for a little while. And it's just going to be really nice. The train's passing right now, so I'm sorry if you can hear it. But it's going to be a really nice day, I think. Also want to do just some tidying up around the house, just to start the week off fresh with a clean home and an organized home, because I find that my creativity is much more abundant when I have a tidy space to be working in. So that's really just going to be my day today. I'm going to have some breakfast. I'm going to have some avocado toast and bacon and tea, and that's going to be really, really yummy, and we'll just kind of see where the day goes. I don't really have a schedule that I'm going to be sticking to, just kind of going to be enjoying it as it comes. Last night, I was definitely sleepy. I really didn't do much. Didn't really talk to you after having spent the day in the park. I just had that cup of tea, which definitely helped a lot, and then just kind of relaxed on the couch a little bit. David and I played Ticket to Ride, which was fun, and then just went to bed, and it was really nice. So we'll see what I get up to today. I want to take a minute and share the knitting project I'm working on. Weirdly enough, I am not really a monogamous knitter, but this is actually the only project I have on my needles right now, which is really uncharacteristic of me. However, that being said, I'm kind of liking it. I'm kind of liking only having one project on the needles because I really didn't start this too long ago, and I'm almost done with it. So I am keeping it in my favorite project bag at the moment. It is this beautiful Rifle Paper Company fabric with kind of a navy blue canvas base. In this bag, you've probably heard of them. It's by Tanny Casey on Etsy. I have one of my favorite enamel pins in here, which is kind of ironic because it's telling me to stay focused on just one knitting project at a time, and that is exactly what I am doing. So what we've got in here is kind of the starts of a new design. So what I am doing, for those of you that know, and maybe for those of you that don't know, two of my designs are in the same family. The very first design that I ever released was my Vapor Trails shawl. And then just last month, I released my Vapor Trails scarf. So kind of like the fraternal twin. And this is actually going to be in the same family as well. It is still using my Vapor Trails pattern. And this is going to kind of be a 1 to 2 skein project that it's not a shawl, it's not a scarf, but it's really going to kind of be more like a shoulder wrap. And I'll kind of show you what I mean in a second. But before I flip the camera around, so this yarn is Bumblebee Acres Farm. It is kind of this really subtle, kind of creamish color, and then it has little tiny hints of this blue, and you might be able to see the little bit of sparkle that's in there. So this is their sparkle base, and this colorway, it was from their Outlander inspired colorways, and it's called Highland Bride. So really, really pretty. This is what I was working on yesterday while I was knitting with friends outside, and just the way that this was sparkling in the sun really had my heart. But like I said, this is going to be a shoulder wrap. So let me kind of show you what I mean by that. I'm going to do the best I can to show you what I mean, but it's going to be a little hard to do one-handed. But maybe before I hold it up, just kind of a visual, it's going to be rectangular, and it's going to just wrap around your shoulders. And what I'm going to do is kind of have it button up here at the top, so it is kind of wrapping all the way around you on one side, and then kind of loosely cascading and flowing on the other side. So, sorry, I had to kind of look at myself in the camera as I was describing that, but yeah, this is going to probably be impossible to do, but it's just going to kind of just be loose around the shoulders. The lace I'm going to recommend be on the bottom, and sorry for those really weird camera angles, but I'm looking forward to it. As you probably saw, I actually really don't have that much yarn left, so I'm kind of learning that this is going to have to be potentially a 2 skein project if you are wanting the wrap to be a little bit longer, or if you have broader shoulders. So I'm going to be kind of loosely sizing the pattern. It's pretty customizable in terms of being able to lengthen it or widen it, but I do want to kind of sample knit a bigger size, one that's a little bit wider, so it'll sit a little bit maybe further over your bust, and then a little bit longer if your shoulders are more broad than mine. And so, or if you just want it to cascade down your shoulder on that one side a little bit more. So I need to finish this up, block it, really see how long it actually is. I do think it will still fit me. I would cry if it doesn't. All of this work and I kind of just have a rectangle that doesn't serve much of a purpose at the end. But I want to then knit up a second sample using 2 skeins of yarn, and not quite sure what yarn I want to use quite yet. Maybe I'll try and figure that out later today or tomorrow. But for now, that's what I'm working on. I really just can't get this design out of my head. I can't stop wanting to knit different iterations of it. Like I said, I've got the shawl, and then the scarf, and now this wrap. And so I just can't get enough of it, and I hope you're not sick of it yet either, because it's going to be sticking around for a while. But this is what I'm working on. This is what's going to get my attention and love today. Like I said, this is the only project I'm working on right now, but that being said, I have a lot of dream knitting that I have. And so maybe it would be fun to kind of take you along on that and show you what I am thinking about in terms of some future knitting projects. But I'm just going to sit back and do a little bit of knitting now. So I am getting ready to take some pre-block dimensions of this shoulder wrap iteration of my Vapor Trails collection. Not gonna lie, it turned out shorter than expected. So I don't even know if this is going to be a usable sample. We'll kind of see how much it grows. But like I said, just getting ready to take some pre-block measurements, the dimensions, and the gauge. I've got my knit kit here that, there you go, you can kind of see it, the knit kit that I'm going to be using in order to take those measurements. All right, my upstairs neighbor is stomping around, so I'm sorry if you can hear that, but all measured, time to throw this guy into a bath. I'm going to be using the Soak Wool Wash in the Celebration scent. This one smells so good. So I'm just going to put a little bit into this bucket, not too much. And then add some water and add the shawl. And now I'm just going to let this guy sit for about 20 minutes just to make sure he is fully saturated. And then I am going to rinse him, not necessarily get all of the soap out, but get a good bit of it out. And then kind of dry him out between a towel and then go ahead and block it.